We're in Berlin, in the district of Marzahn. An aerial bomb from World War II was just found underneath a tennis court during construction work. 500 kilograms of explosives will now have to be defused. A highly dangerous mission, but by no means extraordinary in Germany. There are unexploded bombs, grenades, mines and ammunition hidden beneath the soil all over the country. Why are there so many explosives lying around in Germany, and how can the threat be kept to a minimum?
Achtung, Achtung, hier spricht Ihre Berliner Polizei.
Since the early morning, the police are ringing on people's doors. The to-do list before the actual defusing is long. Around 15,000 residents have to leave their homes. Some cannot do it alone and need ambulance services. For others, such an evacuation is nothing new.
I know this from my colleagues who have been affected by these evacuations, time and time again. This is becoming routine. I'm a child of war. That's why I know there were bombs dropped. And not all of them exploded.
No, not all of them exploded. And today's tennis court is far from being the only contaminated area. Germany is littered with explosives and ammunition from GDR times, World War II, and even from the time of the German Empire. During World War II alone, about 1.4 million tons of bombs were dropped over the country. Markus Fricke from Dresden is an expert for explosive ordnance disposal. He tells us why some areas were prioritized for demunitioning and others were not.
Immediately after the war, with the help of the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Service and the Allies, we first began to clarify the problem, starting with the agricultural areas and then the city centers. There were many places where the war was fought or where trainings were held, and those areas that were not being used at that moment were left out.
According to current estimates, there are still around 100,000 to 300,000 tons of unexploded ordnance in the ground throughout the country. And that's excluding the North and Baltic Seas. In most cases, this involves unexploded bombs. They usually turn up accidentally during construction work in larger cities, just like in Berlin-Marzahn. Everybody is accounted for and out of the evacuation zone, so the operation should start any minute now. About 5,000 bombs are cleared by explosive ordnance disposal experts in Germany every year. In some cases, bomb disposal is not possible, in which case the unexploded bombs must even be detonated in a controlled manner. On average, there are 1 or 2 incidents of leftover ordnance exploding uncontrolled each year in Germany. Time and time again, this results in deaths and injuries. Markus Fricke trains others in handling explosive ordnance. Like other experts, he also worries that aging processes of the materials in the ordnance will additionally increase a risk for us and our surroundings.
The first problem is the munitions and substances that can cause lasting damage to the environment. The other problem is when the munitions are located in the wild. If someone works in a forest, either planting or cutting trees, then they could come into direct contact with the explosives, and the worst possible scenario could happen. That's why they have to be removed.
We're in the Jüterburg Natural Reserve, less than 100 kilometers outside Berlin. This forest made headlines for one thing lately: forest fires. The latest was in June of this year. I'm joined by Andreas Meissner from the Brandenburg Natural Landscapes Foundation. His foundation administers the Jüterburg forest.
Unfortunately, we are standing here on an area that has been a military training ground since 1860. It's been used by various armies rather intensively, from the Prussian artillery to the Russian army, and they have left their mark.
Firefighting operations are difficult enough in a large area like this one, but it's not just the fire that's putting lives at risk.
It's all a suspected explosive ordnance site.
That's why the fire department in Jüterburg lets affected forest areas burn in a controlled manner, until the flames run out. However, only a fraction of the ammunition is sharpened during a fire. And while the forest soil recovers, it remains contaminated and thus dangerous.
Some of them are buried deep underground. They were fired and then they penetrated the ground, anywhere between 1 meter to 2 meters deep. Such munitions can then slowly start over time to resurface and, in a sense, grow back.
You cannot see the explosive remnants. Only a few old military buildings give a hint of the former troop presence. I asked Meissner, wouldn't it be easier to rid the entire area of contaminated sites instead of facing the same problems every time?
The first setback is the funding. We would need an estimated 10 to 20,000 euros per hectare for our entire property. So approximately 250 million euros would need to be invested. Secondly, specialized personnel would be needed for years to decontaminate the area. There are not enough trained explosive ordnance specialists, nor enough equipment. And thirdly, once they would finish removing all of the detonated devices and clearing the area, all of the trees would have been removed. So what would be left behind would be an ecological disaster.
For Meissner, the solution is nonetheless demunition. To achieve this, the foundation is joining forces with the state, the fire department and other players. Back in Berlin, the defusing in Marzahn has been completed. Hours later than originally planned, but still.
Mission accomplished. As you can see behind me, the bomb is diffused. I just spoke with the diffuser who didn't want to be on camera. He was very calm and steady, and he said it's the essential characteristic to have for this kind of job. And he said he does it about 12 times a year, diffusing these bigger bombs.
Because the danger has been recognized, authorities are increasingly investing money to implement concepts for demunitioning and forest fire protection measures. The German government plans to invest around 700 million euros for more than 1,800 areas throughout Germany. It's gonna be a long process.
You simply cannot do it all just like that. We are doing what is necessary every day, sometimes even on weekends. Colleagues are on the road and doing the best they can. It is a massive undertaking. I personally am 45 years old, and I won't live to see the completion of this task.